What do you think it would be like to meet with some of the most famous generals in American history? Well, they'd probably be assholes. Now hear me out, okay? In my opinion, the qualities that would make somebody a great general are not the same qualities that would make someone like a great public figure or just a really nice guy to be around. Even just looking at World War II US generals, there's a lot of guys who were great on the battlefield and they really went after the enemy and won a lot of battles. But you put them in front of a crowd and you don't know what they're gonna say. Like General Patton, for example, who after the war was ended said some things about how we defeated the wrong enemy, implying that we should have been fighting the Soviet Union. You can think of that statement as you will, but keep in mind that this is at a time when tensions are high. The war had ended, the Soviet Union and the US are both occupying Germany, and that's not exactly something you want to just put out there publicly. Oh yeah, and there was that whole thing where he slapped those soldiers who had PTSD. Yeah, that was kind of a bad look. Then you've got General MacArthur, who was famous for his actions commanding US troops in the Pacific, going on to disobey orders from the president while he was in command during the Korean War. He disagreed with the president and he went public with it. Like during a war, he was just arguing publicly with the president and telling people how he thought he was right and the president was wrong. I mean, you can't do that when you're in the army. It's the president. In my opinion, the things that made these guys so great on the battlefield that they wanted to push people and they wanted to go after the enemy with everything they had and show no mercy, they just don't translate well to other parts of life. And you know what? In some cases, I think that's fine. But many also say that MacArthur wanted to use nuclear weapons in the Korean War. It's still debated whether or not he really wanted to do that, and if so, to what extent. But it is true that he wanted to really go after the enemy and hit them with everything they had, even when that wasn't what the president wanted. So what if a nuclear war like that really did break out in the 50s? Well, there's a book about that. The book is called Atomic Sunrise, and it's an alternative history book about what could have happened if nuclear war broke out while the US was still occupying Japan in the 50s. And they really did their research on this. It's got a bunch of real historical figures in it, and they really took their time mapping out how things would have played out. It's really interesting. I can't wait to read the book. It's on pre-order right now, and based on the promotional material and everything, it looks like it's going to be really good. You can reserve your copy of the book through the link in my bio, and make sure you use the code WorldWarWisdom for a discount at checkout. You're going to want to read it because I'm going to be reading it, and then I'm going to make videos about stuff that I see in the book, and then you'll be able to go, oh, I read that in the book, so it'll be fun.